I met your girl today. You would be proud of her. She acts a lot like you, though just a bit demure. You would have loved this day, watching the timbers rise, the 100-year-old barn against cerulean skies. I never made too much when I would play or place. Still I could sing my songs and figure out the pace. After we'd shut her down, we'd talk away the night. I'd crash out on your couch to the glow of the wood stove light. Bitter winds pouring in through frosted window panes. Strong coffee in the morning pounding through my veins. It was a world apart, a place of last retreat. Old spooks and the ghost of Grant, hand in hand walking down the street. Hey, I went back last year. You wouldn't know the place. It's a big-time tourist town, not one old familiar face. Remember Willie Bear, that drunk old crazy sot? He passed out and he froze to death in the town that time forgot. We were so hungry then, living life like a travelogue, flying low through the rolling hills in the early morning fog. Appaloosa's galloping through granite-studded fields, Clive Gregson on the tape deck to my humming wheels. Was a little girl last time I played for you, but now she's all grown up, a woman in full bloom. You would be proud of her. There's a lot of you I see as she lights another cigarette and she sings my songs with me. Hey everybody, welcome to Hickory Ridge Concerts Virtual. I'm your host Chris Vallillo, and we are so happy to have you here with us as we kick off our 6th live stream concert. And we've got a great one for you here tonight. Now I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute, but first let's get to the most important part of the evening, pie. Once again, I have a magnificent pie to enjoy. This is a beautiful homemade mixed berry pie, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries, made by my wife Dory, one of the great pie bakers of the Midwest. So we'll break into that a little later on in the show. If you haven't made a pie yet, or if you haven't got dessert, round something up. We're going to turn our headline performers loose for about 45 minutes, and then we'll sit down and enjoy pie and conversation together. Now, many of you have seen this show before. For those of you that are joining us the first time, we're delighted to have you here. We are running Hickory Ridge Concerts Virtual free of charge, but if you are in a position to make a donation to support the series, we'd love that. The donation link is in the description. Looks like we've just put it up in front of us here on the screen as well. It's a PayPal Me account, paypal.me/Hickory Ridge Concerts, and it goes right into the Hickory Ridge checking account. You can also send us a check snail mail if you're more comfortable doing that. And I really want to take a moment to thank all of the folks that have really gone above and beyond to sustain this series as we try to move into this new format. We really, really appreciate your help. Now, our headline performers today are a wonderful act, Sundae and Mr. Goessl. And they are described as playing countrified jazz. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I always try to think of something appropriate to open up the show with that might either shoehorn or reflect in some way what they're doing. So I'm pulling out one of my favorite guitars, this 1956 Gibson ES-225. And I'm going to do a bottleneck slide song. A song that seemed appropriate for tonight's show. It's called Sunday Drivin' on a Monday afternoon. And let me make sure I've got this guitar set right. So this is for Sundae Goessl. All right, there you go. Sunday driving on a Monday afternoon. Now, as I mentioned, I thought it would be appropriate to do that song in honor of Sundae Goessl. But I have to tell you, excuse me, Goessl. She spells it differently, Sundae. So let's bring them on and let's find out what this is all about. Well, hey, Sundae, Mr.
Hi,
Goessl.
Chris.
So nice to have you with us here today.
Oh, thank you so much for having us. It was a great song. Thanks for
Oh,
playing.
well, thank you. As I mentioned, I always like to find something that kind of works with the guests. And, your name, Sundae, seemed to work perfectly with this song. Now, I happen to know the backstory to why you use that name. You want to share that with our audience?
Well, sure. Back when Mr. Goessl and I were just friends and playing music together, he would show up at the bar that I worked at, Sloop Tavern in Seattle, Washington. And he would show up on my shift every Sunday without fail. And he just started calling me Sundae. And I kind of put it together that he had a crush on me. And when we formed the duo, we just thought, oh, we should be Sundae. But I like to spell it like the ice cream because I'm so sweet.
There you go. Now, I want to take a moment to read just a few of your accolades here. And I mean this as the duo, of course. So you were nominated as having the best jazz album of 2020 by the Independent Music Awards. And that's your latest album, right? That would be the
Yes,
Fun and Fancy one?
that's called Fun and Fancy. Yep.
Excellent. Are we going to hear some of that tonight?
Yeah. We have a lot of
Wonderful.
original tunes on that album that we're going to play tonight.
Excellent. Well, I also noticed that you were the Best Jazz Act of 2017 by the Seattle Weekly, nominated as the Best Jazz Song with Vocals in 2017, Independent Music Awards. But this is the one that really gets me. The Seattle Kobe Vocal Jazz Princess of 2014 and 2016.
Yes.
So how do you become a jazz princess? And frankly, if you're a princess, doesn't that make Mr. Goessl a prince? I mean, I've heard the
Oh,
guy play. He's at least a duke.
a prince among men, Mr. Goessl. Yeah. Actually, there isn't any official princess title. I actually gave that title to myself because the
Oh,
queen is the one who wins the competition that I entered and goes
sure.
to Japan. But I came in runner-up twice, so
Well, very
that
nice.
makes me a princess, right?
That does indeed. It does indeed. So let me share with our audience the story of how I first saw you play. I was at the Folk Alliance Midwest Conference a couple of years ago, the last one they actually held, and you were showcasing there. And I was struck by three things. First of all, your beautiful singing. Second of all, Mr. Goessl's incredible guitar playing. And I guess four things really. The quality of showmanship that you both bring to the stage. I mean, that's something above and beyond what you normally see. And number four for me, of course, is Mr. Goessl's cool guitars. So I know you sort of call it countrified jazz. Is there a whole mix of influences going on here? What is this all about?
Yes, there actually is quite a big mix. We both kind of came together when we first started playing music with a big love for the music of the 1930s. In fact, our first album was only songs within that decade.
Wonderful.
And since then, most of our albums contain a lot of songs from the 30s. It's just a huge wealth of amazing music. And, back then it was the popular music of that day. So
Yeah,
we branded ourselves as vintage pop back then.
there you
But
go.
nobody really understood what that meant. So it was a little tricky when we were, booking our tours across the country with people who didn't know us, uh,
Hmm.
trying to fit in to those places. So we've kind of rebranded and now we just call ourselves Fun and Fancy. We play music from the golden age and then we write music in the style of that as well.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I'll tell you what, we didn't really talk about your final song, but just do me a favor when you come to the end of your set, announce that so we can make sure that we make the changeover correctly.
We will.
But in the meantime, I think we should get around to hearing some of this amazing music. So,
Okay.
folks, trust me when I say you are in for a treat. These folks have the entire package. Please join me in welcoming Sundae and Mr. Goessl.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can hear your applause through the screen. Yes, you are in for a treat, a Sunday treat. In addition to performing music full time, I'm actually also an amateur comedian. So I thought I would tell you guys a joke. Some people who have seen the act before know what's coming. Actually, I'm really excited about this. I burned 2,000 calories last night. Yeah, it's the last time I fall asleep with brownies in the oven. We've got a wonderful tune to start this set out. This is actually a tune from 1921, and everybody's done this song, from Patsy Cline to everybody else. This is called Anytime. Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, yes, anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove that your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time, oh, I'll be thinking of you, boo-boo. So anytime you feel that you want me back again, that's the time I'll come on home to you. Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, 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 blue. Yes, anytime you feel downhearted, oh, that will prove that your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time, oh, I'll be thinking of you, boo-boo. So anytime you feel that you want me back again, that's the time I'll come on home to you. Yes, that's the time I'll come on home to you. Oh, thanks, Carl. We're coming on home to you. We're actually coming back to the Seattle area this May, so hopefully we'll have some curbside concerts coming up here in the spring. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We are Sundae Mr. Goessl. Thank you to Hickory Ridge Concerts for hosting tonight. We're going to do a tune from our new album, Fun and Fancy. This is an original song called Last Night Was the Last Time. Last night was the last time that you get to leave me. Last night was the last time we ever danced in the thrill of moonlight. Got me thinking that you stay here with me forever. Oh, how wrong was side. Last night was the last time that you get to hold me. I wish you'd have told me right from the start you'd break my heart. You missed your chance on what would be a fine romance. Last night was the last time you say goodbye. You missed your chance on what would be a fine romance. Last night was the last time you say goodbye. Oh, that's a sad song. We're not going to do too many sad songs in this set, but we actually made a music video for that song that we have on our YouTube channel. You can check it out at youtube.com/Sundae and Mr. Goessl. Wanted to give a quick shout out to our friend Ryan Williams. Happy birthday, Ryan. We got a little song coming up here for you. Ryan actually starred in another music video for this next tune. This is another original called Darlene. Darlene, oh darling, you better pack your things and go, darling. Oh, darling, you're so mean to me. No, you can't stay one more night, darling. Well, every time you say you're sorry, well, then you sweep me off my feet. Then you go, and when I try to call, your phone just rings and rings, darling. Oh, darling. Okay, I'll give you one more chance, my sweet darling. Darling, oh darling, you broke my heart again, darling. Oh darling, you were so mean to me, falling for those eyes, darling. Well, every time you say you're sorry, oh then you sweep me off my feet. And then you go, when I try to call, your phone just rings and rings, darling. Oh darling, I'm just a fool for you, my sweet darling. Oh, my sweet darling. You're my sweet darling. Darling. Oh, that Darlene, what a rascal she is. Thank you all for joining us. We are Sundae and Mr. Goessl. We are here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Hello to Terry Goessl. That is Mr. Goessel's mom, my favorite mother-in-law. Nice to see you. We are Totally thrilled to be here at Hickory Ridge Concerts. Thank you to Chris Vallillo for making this happen. If you're enjoying the program and you would like to support the arts, of course you can do so. The link is in the comments there and in the description. I did want to tell you another joke. Oh, look, the link just showed up there too. Technology. Okay, here's the joke. So a pirate walks into a bar and he's got a paper towel attached to his hat. The bartender says, excuse me, pirate, there's a paper towel on your hat? And the pirate says, yarg, there be a bounty on my head. Thank you. Be here all night, folks. I'm really excited for the pie portion. I actually made my own pie. It's the first time I've made a pie in probably 20 years, so we'll see how it tastes. Mr. Goessl, you better eat it regardless. Be a good husband. Speaking of being a good husband, Mr. Goessl actually wrote this song. This is the title track off of our 2016 album, Makes My Heart Sway. Shout out to Jacqueline Tabor, who I believe is watching tonight too. She loves this song, so this one goes out to you. When I think of you, all of my dreams become this way. Dreams of hues to paint, lost dress, mere like moonlit day that makes my heart sway, that makes my heart sway. When I think of you, I feel the shot top of your smile drifting by for miles, with the scent of your breath on my neck. Go and makes my heart sway. It makes my heart sway. When I think of you, all of my dreams become this way. Dreams of hues to paint, a lost stretch, mere like moonlit day that makes my heart sway. It makes my heart sway. Oh, when I think of you, I feel the shot top of your smile drifting by for miles, with the scent of your breath on my neck. Oh, it makes my heart sway. It makes my heart sway. Yes, it makes my heart sway. Ooh, you make my heart sway. Still makes my heart sway after 5 years of marriage. For those of you who are watching, hello to Loretta, by the way. I saw you commented there. Thanks for watching and supporting live music. If you've never seen one of these guys before, this is called a melodica, and it's basically if a harmonica and an accordion had a baby. Oh, let's be this little baby right here. It's a free reed instrument, and yeah, that's a big part of our act. It makes sound when you blow air through it, so luckily I'm full of hot air. So got that. Carl Leatherman asks, is that a picture of Mr. Goessl behind us? That's so funny that you ask. It's actually a picture of Rachel and Villery, another fantastic duo. They are based out of Minneapolis and New York, and they put out an album actually on our wedding anniversary called Rachel and Villery. Check them out. They're amazing. They signed it for us. It's very special. Oh, yeah. We're going to do another tune from our new album, Fun and Fancy. We actually put it on a vinyl record, which is really awesome. That's our first vinyl record. We still have some, so check it out. This is a tune written by both me and Nicole Blaze from a wonderful duo called Blaze and Kelly. It's called I Love My Baby Better. Well, I love my baby better, better than a brand new sweater. Oh, I love my baby, he keeps it warm at night. Yes, I love my baby the more she makes it breakfast toast. I love my baby, he makes me feel alright. When I'm feeling blue, oh, he knows just what to do. I love my baby holding very tight. Cause I love my baby better, better than the nice warm weather. I love my baby forever and a night. I love my baby better, better than a brand new sweater. Oh, I love my baby, it keeps me warm at night. Yes, I love my baby the most, he makes me breakfast toast. I love my baby, he makes me feel alright. When I'm feeling blue, oh, he knows just what to do. I love my baby holding very tight. Cause I love my baby better, better than nice warm weather. I love my baby forever and a night. Yes, I love my baby forever and a night. Oh, I love my baby forever and a night. True story. Thank you, Joan Penny, for tuning in. Joan Penny is a wonderful vocalist in the Washington State. That was a great guitar solo. Good job, Mr. Goessl. Gosh, he's really got some good talent. He's not just a pretty face here on the stage. He's got some real talent too. Well, speaking of real talent, I know you guys only see half of what's going on with our setup here at home. It's been a wild transition the last year from doing 250, 300 shows a year in many different locations and venues to doing live streaming at home. So we've been working on our setup, and this next tune features a lot of fancy footwork from Mr. Goessl, and it's also Oh, wow. Look at that. No hands. So everything that you hear from us tonight and any other night, we never play with backing tracks. Everything that happens happens live with us, and he's doing live looping. So it's quite a treat. This is a beautiful tune. It's on our new record. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's called On the Alamo. When the moon swings low on the Alamo, in a garden fair where the roses grow, in the tender light of a summer night, I can see him wandering to and fro, for he said, I'll wait by the garden gate on the night I said that I love you so. And in all of my dreams it seems I'll go when the moon swings low on the Alamo. a garden fair where the roses grow in the tender light of a summer night. I can see him on the bubbling to and fro, for I said I'll wait by the garden gate on the night I said that I love you so. And in all my dreams it seems a papa go, and the moon swings low on the Alamo. Yes, on the Alamo. Oh, on the Alamo. Mr. Goessl on guitar. Thank you, Kelly Smith, for watching. Thank you all for being here, for supporting live music. Oh, Jolene, my beautiful sister. Thank you so much for hanging out and for tuning in tonight to Hickory Ridge Concerts. Once again, big thanks to Chris Vallillo for having us on the show. We are going to just get resituated because we have a pretty serious song coming up for you. That's right. This is the true story of how Sundae and Mr. Goessl got together. A song written by Mr. Goessl and the officiant at our wedding, Mr. Jasper McCann. They've got a great band called the Tornadoes. Check them out. Anyways, here it is. This is called I'm Just a Half a Bottle of Gin from Falling in Love with You. Leather booths and candlelight. The 7-layer tofu sounds great tonight. You're gorgeous with that black hat on, and I love that new guitar you've got on. I can see a gleam in your eye. I'm certain that it's true. But there's a tiny little secret that I must confess to you. I'm just a half a bottle of gin from falling in love with you. I know it sounds like a sin, but nothing else will do. The conversation's been scintillating, but I must go and take my medicine. And that's gin. There's a world of wonder and possibility in your gaze. But if this thing's gonna progress, there can be no delays. I can't say those words that you want to hear till I make these quarantinis disappear. The dance floor's waiting, much to my chagrin. So kindly pass the half a bottle of gin. Olives or a twist will do. These are a half ounce of vermouth, because without vermouth, honey, it's just not couth. 007 is absurd. I don't like shaken, I like stirred. Vodka'll do, it's not ideal. It's hard to tell you how I feel. Excuse me, bartender. Yeah, I'm gonna need half a bottle. Excuse me, bartender. I'll just make it a double, honey. I'm just a half a bottle of gin from falling in love with you. I know you're dreaming of a sweet man cave and a 6-pack for 2, but before I'm fitted for my apron and meet your next of kin, please kindly pass. Oh, please kindly pass Oh, please kindly pass that half a bottle of gin. Come on, pass that bottle of gin. Cheers to whatever you're drinking out there. Just a reminder, if you have any burning questions that you want to ask me or Mr. Goessl or Chris, just ask them in the chat, and we will chat about it over pie. Pie is coming soon. Let's see, where are we here? Oh, yeah. We got a couple more before pie time. This song is we played this song and how we got together, Jen, of course. But this song is actually about living in a motorhome for over half of your marriage and still being married to tell the tale and sing the song. I'm sure all of our friends out there, spouses who have been stuck with each other for the past year, can relate to this song. It's called Might As Well, 'Cause Love Is Hell. I hear train wrecks when I think of you. You're so bad for me, you might be poison. Someone I knew said your heart could be construed as nothing less than treacherous. But your eloquence and mischievous charm keep me away. I thought I was out of love, but I'm still there. Wine me, dine me, kiss me and divine me. Might as well, 'cause love is hell. And you still bother me. I could think of 50 places I'd rather be. If it weren't for the dog, I'd be long gone. Too bad she loves us equally. But your eloquence and mischievous charm are both still there. I thought I was out of love, but I'm still there. Wine me, dine me, kiss me and divine me. Might as well, 'cause love is hell. Oh, might as well, 'cause love is up above. Oh, might as well, 'cause love is hell. I do still love you. Oh, love. You know, I was going shopping the other day, looking for cherries and a mic stand. My musician friends will love this joke. Bada bing, bada boom. It's actually the only reason we need a drummer in the band. Just let people know. The punchline has been delivered. It is okay to laugh. I can hear you guys laughing from home. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We are Sundae Mr. Goessl, and we are having a blast here at Hickory Ridge Concerts. This is a monthly virtual event. And if you would like to support artistic programming in the time of COVID, you can do so by going to the paypal.me/Hickory Ridge Concerts. All artists and art programs need your help right now, so we appreciate you so much, more than you know. We are going to do a tune from our 2016 album. You can, of course, find all of our albums and all of our merch at sundaemrgoessl.com. Or if you need something easy to spell, you can do funandfancymusic.com. It all goes to the same place. This is a tune written by a wonderful band out of Seattle called Prom Queen. We love Prom Queen. It's called Pretty Little Thing. Don't call me a lady, then treat me like a dog. Don't call me sugar, then rub my wounds with salt. 'Cause I'm not your pretty little thing. No, I'm not yours at all. Don't ask me to dance if you wanna see me fall. Don't wear the pants, then dress me like you're not. 'Cause I'm not your pretty little thing. No, I'm not yours at all. Don't call me honey if you can't handle my sting. Don't give me that bad if you don't wanna see me swing. No, don't give me them gloves if you can't step into the ring. 'Cause I'm a hard hitter, honey, not your pretty little thing. Don't call me baby, then treat me like your mom. No, don't call me kitten if you can't take my claw. 'Cause I'm not your pretty little thing. No, 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 honey, I'm not yours at all. Meow. Don't call me honey if you can't handle my sting. Don't give me that bad if you don't wanna see me swing. No, don't give me them gloves if you can't step into the ring. 'Cause I'm a hard hitter, honey, not your pretty little thing. No, I'm not your pretty little thing. Meow. Oh, thank you so much. That is off of one of our albums. We're going to do just one last song before we dig into some pie. So that's our cue to get those forks ready. And we're gonna dish a little bit with Chris after this tune. This is another original song that we wrote about our love. We call it Our Love. Oh, it's spring again. First time you made me grin, elated by your smile, and I'm just wild about your style. You've kept my heart spinning all the while. It's in the scent of the trees and the color of the leaves. When fall comes around, you know our love can still be found. Let's never, ever, 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 ever get off this merry-go-round. We get all dressed up, go dancing at the club, all through this winter freeze. Your laughter warms my memories. After all, about this time, you still make me weak in the knees. And just like clouds in the summer, I crown you my lover. We picnic by the river. I'm amazed by all your glitter, honey. Seasons will pass, but our love will last forever. Oh, whenever. Yes, seasons will pass, but our love will last forever.
All right. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Sundae and Mr. Goessl. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys a moment to grab your pie and reposition. I will take care of a little housekeeping while we're doing that. First of all, though, I have to show you, I got a piece of pie out in a beautiful wedge shape. Always a challenge.
Delicious.
Last month we had pecan. I don't know that it's possible to cut a clean piece of pecan pie. It didn't work for me. But
Luckily,
today that looks great.
It tastes the same.
Oh, look at that. Nice. Nice indeed.
Do you want to cut it up? Yes.
Okay. So while you're getting set, let me just take care of a couple of housekeeping details. We want to thank the Two Rivers Arts Council and the Illinois Arts Council Agency, who have generously supported this series and allowed us to take it from the live format to the virtual format and keep this going. So we deeply appreciate their support. And here we go. What else do we need to tell you? Next month. So next month we'll be featuring a gentleman from Southern Illinois named Dennis Stromont. Dennis is a wonderful world-class Cajun fiddler. And this may seem a little funny to you if you don't understand Illinois history, but we have a real tradition of Cajun French in Southern Illinois because those were the very first people to settle the state. So there's a wonderful tradition of that. And on top of this, he has also been recently spreading out and doing a lot of Western swing. Has just released an album, a tribute album and a show to the Cherokee Ramblers, a great Western swing band. So Dennis will be with us next month. You don't want to miss that one. Okay, let's bring back Sundae and Mr. Goessl and compare pies. I'm going to tell you, I cheated. I tasted this during your set. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful piece. I am suitably impressed.
Let's see how it tastes.
Very nice. So. Oh, yeah.
It's good. I'm so surprised.
Well, I am too, because, in prepping for this show, I was going through some of your videos, and Mr. Goessl was doing a cooking demonstration on one of them. I figured he'd be making the pie.
He usually does all of the cooking. It is actually only very recently, since we moved into this apartment, that I started trying to help out with the cooking. So I am surprised that this tastes good.
So I've got to ask you, you've done all the talking so far. Does Mr. Goessl not speak?
Well, Mr. Goessl does speak. I often don't let him speak. I talk enough for the both of us. It's a little bit part of our shtick too. I say,
Yeah.
you may notice that Mr. Goessl is a man of few words. In fact, at our wedding, when the officiant said, "And do you, Mr. Goessl, take Sundae to be your lawfully wedded wife?" he said, and I was like, okay, is it legal? Let's do this. But we thought, because this is such a special show, that I would let him talk, especially since you guys have so much to talk about with all your guitars and your loving of guitar stuff. So
Absolutely.
I'll allow it.
Well, I'm sure I speak for the entire Hickory Ridge Concerts audience when I say we appreciate that very much. All right. Now, one of the things that I really wanted to ask you about, as artists, we're all trying to survive through COVID, and we're doing about anything we can to keep playing, to keep working, to stay connected. And you guys have done an amazing job, I got to say. You've got a whole series of different live things you were doing. I think I saw Mr. Goessl on the Sunday Live program, perhaps.
Yeah,
but
Sunday Morning Live. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sunday Morning Live. But one of the most interesting things I've seen that I've never seen anyone else do is that you do dedication videos. Could you tell us how that works?
Well, certainly, Chris. Thank you for mentioning it. So we actually started dedication videos 2 years ago on Valentine's Day. We were on tour in southern Texas, and it was Valentine's Day. We didn't have a show on Valentine's Day, so we were like, let's throw this out there. People want us to do a song for their sweetheart, and it was a huge hit. Like, we got actually borderline too many orders because, to make a video and edit it and do all the things, it was turned out to be a lot of work. But that has been something that has been keeping us alive during COVID. Yeah. People will send us a song, and sometimes it's a song that's in our wheelhouse, and it's tuned from the Broadway show from the 30s or something. But oftentimes we get, Randy Travis or who do we get? Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift. And we get kind of songs that we don't normally do and don't know. And so it's been a really fun time getting to arrange these tunes in our style. And then we include photos.
And that was going to be my question. Are we doing Britney Spears song in Britney Spears style, or are we doing it in the Sundae and Mr. Goessl style?
Always Sundae Mr. Goessl style. Yeah. We definitely have a pretty unique stamp that we like to put on things. So, and it's been really fun for us too, because normally we wouldn't get a chance to play any of these songs or think of them in a different way. So it's been really nice to have people reach out to us and say, hey, can you do, this tune? And then they send us photos and we edit them into the video, and it's really sweet. It's been fun.
Yeah. Now, another thing I've seen that you're doing are curbside concerts. And was this pre-COVID, or is that a COVID response?
It's a COVID response. You want to talk? I got to eat my pie.
Yeah, curbside concerts came up because of COVID. We were living in our RV in our friend's driveway in Seattle, and COVID hit. Big lockdown in Seattle. So all of April, like, what do we do? What do we do? And Carly and Pater, they let us live in their driveway for a while. Carly's like, why don't you do curbside concerts? And I'm like, well, yeah, maybe. So we made a little video. So if you go to our YouTube page, you can see a little commercial for our curbside concerts. And we put it out there, a little video, and then we started doing them in May around Seattle. And how many did we do? I think we did like 15, maybe 20 just in May all around Seattle. And there we didn't have to bring our RV. We had our car. So, we would go and set up like 5 minutes before, play for an hour, and then hurry and go home. So, in case we had to use the bathroom or something, we're, stuck on the road, not going to anybody's houses. We would set up on the street or in a cul-de-sac. People would come, they would sit in their yards and watch us. And then it was all donation based. So people could tip us via PayPal, Venmo. People would put checks in the tip jar, money in the tip jar. And then we decided to do a tour across the whole United States. So we left in June and went all the way to Michigan, through the Great Plains, Midwest, and looped back down around, played a bunch all around Illinois, Southern Illinois, up through the suburbs of Chicago. And it was great. People would set up, if they had a big yard, they would like put little swatches or carpets out 30 feet apart from each other. And every family would sit on the thing and they would be like, 30, 50, 60 feet away from us. And I think this summer on tour, we did at least 50, maybe 60 all through the United States.
Wow.
I went back to Seattle because we were going to do a lot more in August, but then the governor there shut down all live music. They even said no private music, nothing starting in August. So we sat there and we're like, well, let's get back on the road. So we left the end of August and did another round through the United States in the RV, pulling up, jump out of the RV, do our thing.
Yeah, it's been great.
Wow, amazing. Hey, we have a question here from Carl Leatherman, and let me just throw that up.
Hi, Carl.
Does Mr. G ever sing with you when you're off the air?
I tried to get Mr. Goessl to sing with me, but I fired him the same day that I fired him. It's not as easy as I make it look, you guys. Actually, Mr. Goessl does sing on one song on our 2018 album. He does some backup vocals with our engineer. I forced them to sing backing vocals on. It's wonderful. Sounds good.
It's not really singing.
Yelling.
I've never had a passion for singing. It's always been guitar. I think when I was 18.
That is a lovely segue.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to hear any more about your singing. Let's talk about your guitar playing. So you've got to have a jazz background. I mean, the way you play is just spectacular.
Yeah, thanks.
I could not afford to pay you by the note.
It's a downfall. I like playing a lot of notes. I started playing jazz in middle school. I went to school in Wisconsin, Denmark, and my band instructor loved jazz. So we had a jazz band. I think there was like 2 or 3 different jazz bands in our high school of only 500 people. So in middle school, we had all these programs to go to jazz camp. So I'd go to jazz camp in Stevens Point, Green Bay. There was a great 3-week one in Shell Lake, Wisconsin, Birch Creek. I'd go to Jamie Abersol Jazz Camp down in Evanston, Illinois, I believe. And that's where I got to study with the great jazz players, really good jazz players. So it was pretty much summer after my 6th grade year till summer after my 12th grade year. I spent summers at jazz camp. I didn't really like jazz at first. I was more into the rock and roll and heavy metal as a kid. But once I went to these camps and heard these other guitar players that could shred the metal and then shred the jazz, I was like, okay, fine. Yeah. I should learn everything. And then it's just a rabbit hole of amazing guitar players.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I noticed you're using a plastic thumb pick and 3 finger picks. There was some beautiful backwards brushing you were doing in the middle of all that. And I believe I caught you in the act of gluing one of those fingernails on.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your hand style playing technique.
So when I started taking guitar lessons when I was 9, a great guitar teacher here in Green Bay, Dan Weaver, classical player, also entertained me by teaching me the Van Halen and Bon Jovi, and that I wanted to learn as well. But he taught me early on classical technique. So my fingernails were never strong enough. So I think when I was 18, I finally gave up on. I could never get the hang of finger picks, and I gave up on that. And I started getting fake nails. So I'd go to the nail place and they'd paint on the stuff and it would harden. And I had that done for over 20 years until COVID hit. Then I couldn't get my nails done anymore. So I found these like plastic glue on. So it's just super glue and these plastic fake nails. And that's what I've been using since then. I started using a thumb pick only a few years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I started getting really into country, really like Travis picking, Merle Travis, Chet Atkins, and I started getting hired for a ton of like outlaw country, Waylon Jennings types country stuff. And before that, I always just used my thumb, either like a Wes Montgomery thing, thumb and nails, and then developed into using the thumb pick, so I get that chunky
that
sound, the thumpy sound with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've never been comfortable using, a regular old pick. I think that's why I've always used my fingers and tried to figure out how to make them work the best.
Well, and as a result of that, I mean, the music you're playing is so much more complex than just single note runs. You're doing pieces of chords and sliding and arpeggios and brushing. It's just much more textural, and it really blends well to the style of music that Sundae sings.
Oh yeah.
So, let's talk about the brown guitar.
The dark one or the light one?
Dark one. Let's start there.
Boy, are we glad you asked.
It's Guitar Geek time.
So this is made by a good friend of mine and world-class luthier out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Gordy Bischoff. It's a Bischoff acoustic electric, so it has there's actually 2 outputs. I'm not using the acoustic output today, which is under the saddle, and then there's 2 pickups in here. It's all solid rosewood, so handmade by Gordy, solid rosewood side, tops, and back, and maple binding. I think it's Paduke neck, and the pickups are made by Dogtown Pickups out of Menominee, Wisconsin. They're hand wired to be kind of like a 1957 Seth Lover Gibson pickups. And he wires everything by hand. He even raises his own bees to pour the beeswax into those pickups.
Wow. That's meticulous, I gotta say. Now, is this I noticed one of the videos you had up, and it may have been from the behind the scenes or Concerts on the Road. I forget which one, but you were actually doing an interview with a number of luthiers, and I'm thinking it was one of them was one of this builder here. Was that correct?
Yep, one of them was Gordy. We end up in our RV ends up in Gordy's driveway more often than not when we're in Eau Claire, and right in front of his shop, and the guitars just go right off the RV right into the shop for setup and the fretwork and all that. So it's
very nice.
Pretty special having Gordy in our life, and he's been building acoustics guitars for almost 50 years. We have him on a secret mission right now. It's not really a secret. He's building Sundae a baritone ukulele.
Oh, very nice.
So we're going to expand a little bit. We've been working on songs with her on ukulele. So that will be coming fall of 2021 in some of our shows.
And I think that'll fit very nicely into what you do.
Yeah.
One of the things that I find so impressive about you is that you are showmen as well as great musicians. Sundae is always doing the styling, and facial expressions, but all those little pieces that come together to really produce, a polished-looking show. I just love seeing that, and you guys just really kind of take the cake in that regard, as opposed to the pie.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, my pleasure. All right, now the other guitar you were playing, you had a large acoustic guitar. Was that an Epiphone by any chance?
Yeah, it's a new Epiphone.
New Epiphone.
Yeah, they're doing this master built series where they're making guitars like they did in the 1930s. So
that's what I thought it was.
Yep, solid spruce top, maple sides and back. I've had my eye on one of these for a long time. Well, I've wanted just a thick hollow body. But having another custom guitars get expensive, especially hollow bodies. Jeez, the ones I liked, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this one. How much is it? Well, that's $9,800. I'm like, yeah, I don't like this one. Nope.
Perhaps I spoke too soon.
So I've heard a couple other people playing these on videos online. I'm like, man, it has that old school jazz sound, that Western swing sound just right there. A little bit of the Django sound in it. And I ordered it from Twin Town Guitars in Minneapolis last month. And they called, set it up with the strings I want, gave it, fret job, everything. It came set up perfectly.
Nice.
And it's super fun to play. So, yeah.
Well, it's a very cool looking guitar too.
Yeah.
Which is important, as we all know.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, I see the Telecaster in the back. And it seems to me this is a custom Tele, isn't it?
It's a custom Telecaster made by Eau Claire Guitar Works, which is Bischoff guitars. Gordy makes them as well. He had a partner, Tim, who got all the trees. So it's made out of ash. There was an ash beetle that came through, and they had to cut down all these trees. And Tim, who Burdenacki, he does woodworking, amazing woodworking. Went and gathered up all these trees and talked to Gordy, and they started making Telecasters. So it's ash from, I think it's from actually his property where they cut down the trees, and then maple from the property as well. So it's all Eau Claire wood, which is pretty cool. And then the pickups I have in here are designed after an El Nico 3, again by Dogtown Pickups out of Menominee. So they're a low output pickup, which makes them just super sweet sounding.
Nice. I really liked hearing that one very much.
And I got the little Wisconsin inlay on there too.
I was wondering what that was. I can see it now that it's the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I thought that was appropriate.
Yeah, well, you probably know about Steve Cropper's Telecaster, where he's got the frog inlaid at about the same position.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so I was trying to look at that. Did he steal that from Steve Cropper? And for those of you that don't know who I'm talking about, Steve Cropper was part of Booker T and the MGs, and almost every R&B song you've ever heard, they're probably the backup band. It was the Blues Brothers band when they did the Blues Brothers stuff, and he was a Tele player. So just a little background. All right, well, I'll tell you what. I got just maybe one or two more questions for you here, and then we're going to have you wind up with one more song. But I want to talk about the new album, Fun and Fancy. Where can folks get this? Your website, I assume?
Yes, you could take the dog. Yes, we sell the vinyl, CDs, digital downloads, all that. We actually also sell melodicas that come with a flash drive that has all 6 of our albums, 2 of which are out of print, at our website, sundaemrgoessl.com or funandfancymusic.com. We are also on Bandcamp and Spotify and Amazon and iTunes and all over the place. But the website's obviously the best place to get merchandise. Always the best place for any artist
because the money goes to you, not to Apple or Sonic or any of those places.
Totally.
Yeah. All right. Well, since you brought it up, let's wind up with a short discussion about the melodica.
Okay.
I'm familiar with it because I had a friend in high school that played it.
Oh, wow.
I remember I've seen Stevie Wonder play it. It has this, as soon as you hear that sound, you know immediately what it is, if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might think it's a really cool harmonica or something. But I know that you have had, you're a piano teacher, is that right?
I taught piano for about 10 years before we started doing this full time. So yeah.
So clearly you've got keyboard knowledge.
Yes.
But where did you pick up this instrument? What's the backstory on that?
Well, my good friend JT gifted me a melodica about 15 years ago or so. He was just like, I think you would really enjoy this. And he was right. I really did enjoy it. And I just kind of played it for fun for a while, like at parties and things like that, because a lot of people, even now, a lot of people don't know what it is. But especially back then, my friends were just tickled by it. And one of my friends actually asked if I would learn Flight of the Bumblebee on the melodica for her wedding.
Did you?
I did. Oh, it was torture. The keys are so small. So that was kind of the start of it. And then when Mr. Goessl and I started playing music together, I'm like, this needs to be something bigger than just two people playing old songs. Like we should make it something bigger. Hi, Karen. And so that's when we brought the melodica in, we brought the comedy in, we started dressing up. We kind of made it a whole thing. So yeah, the melodica is part of it.
That's what really makes it a full entertainment experience, not just somebody standing there strumming chords. Like I said, the first moment I saw you guys on stage, I knew I thought I wanted to bring you in. And we originally, didn't we have you booked for music at the museum?
Yes.
Yeah, and then that, of course, got shut down when COVID came.
Yeah.
But as soon as we started to get this stabilized, you were on we want them here, that list. All right, I'll tell you what. I've had a wonderful time visiting with you guys. Let's take you out with one more song, and then I'll come back and say a quick goodbye. But friends, please join me in enjoying one more time Sundae and Mr. Goessl.
Sure. Thanks again, Chris, for having us. We're going to do a tune from our 2018 album. This is a song written by our good friend, Birch Pereira. He's got a duo in Seattle called Jenny and Birch, and they're going to be performing for the Folk Alliance Festival coming up, I think next week. So anyways, this is one of his tunes. This is called A Love I Can't Explain. I can't explain this feeling in my heart. I can't contain the loneliness spreads when we're apart. I can't refrain from mentioning your name. Every time they speak of love, I hope you feel the same. I can't detain this independent heart. It'd be a shame to never ever get the chance to start. Would you see it through if I gave myself to you? Oh, I changed that day, I just can't say it. Love I can't explain. I can't explain this feeling in my heart. I can't contain the loneliness it spreads when we're apart. I can't refrain from mentioning your name. Every time they speak of love, I hope you feel the same. I can't detain this independent heart. It'd be a shame to never ever ever get the chance to start. Would you see it through if I gave myself to you? Oh, I'll change that day and just can't say love I can't explain. Oh, I'll change that day and just can't say love. Oh, I can't explain.
Woo! Sundae and Mr. Goessl. Wonderful. All right, a couple of things to say before we take off. If you are free Monday night, I will be live streaming my show, Oh Freedom Songs of the Civil Rights Movement for Illinois Humanities and the General John A. Logan Museum. That will only be on Chris Vallillo's YouTube page. It's a free performance, courtesy of Illinois Humanities Council. Join us for that. I want to take a moment to thank Illinois Arts Council and the Two Rivers Arts Council. A very special thanks to all of you that have joined in with us from Music at the Museum and from the Hickory Ridge Concert Series. We really, really appreciate you staying with us and keeping this music and this community alive. A shout out to Brandon O'Sullivan, our technical director, hiding behind the scenes there. And a very special thank you to our guests, Sundae and Mr. Goessl. All right, friends, that's our show for tonight. Stay with us, and we will see you next time down the road. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.